Hello and welcome to News Hour on Unity TV. Today is Tuesday, 11th of June 2023 and it's equivalent to 23rd of Zulhijjah 1444 after Hijrah. The headlines. Tinubu arrives Abuja from Guinea-Bissau. Federal government to harmonize FIRS, customs or the revenue collecting agencies. Renewed cold killings, claimed 3 in Edo. And on the foreign scene, UN chief condemns airstrike killing 22 people in Sudan. And in sports, Nigeria emerged African under-21 women's zonal volleyball champions. And those were the headlines, and for details and more of the stories, I am Rukayat Sani Ibrahim. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Monday evening returned to Abuja after a 2-day official visit to Bissau, Guinea-Bissau, where he attended the 63rd ordinary session of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. While in Bissau, the president was unanimously named the new chairman of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of ECOWAS, making him one of the fastest into that office after the election into office as president of any of the member states. After accepting the role of chairman of the authority, Tinubu pledged to bear the responsibility of the office and run an inclusive administration of the regional organization. He warned that terrorism and the persistent pattern of coup d'etat in the region had reached alarming levels, demanding urgent and concerted action. He urged his counterparts to strengthen their respective democratic institutions and ensure respect for human rights and the rule of law, saying his 1-year tenure will enhance engagements with the countries in transition, Mali, Guinea and Burkina Faso, to ensure their quick return to democratic rule. The national chairman of the All Progressives Congress APC, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, has cautioned party chieftains against nursing high expectations of being appointed as ministers by President Bola Tinubu, saying everybody can be a cabinet member. Adamu also used the opportunity to explain the delay in the unveiling of the president ministers and heads of ministries, departments and agencies, saying Tinubu was carrying out an extensive consultation before making an official announcement. The former Nasarawa State Governor stated these at the meeting of the National Working Committee and APC State Chairman at the National Secretariat of the party in Abuja on Monday. The meeting, which started at about 1:55 p.m., was attended by a delegation of 32 members of the Forum of APC chairmen, including their leader, Ali Dalori, and Acting Secretary Alphonsus Oga. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has described the self-determination of lawmakers' emoluments as immoral and unconstitutional, decrying that those who should uphold the Constitution are the ones who undermine it. The former president said these on Monday while delivering a speech at the 60th anniversary celebration of legal icon Are Afe Babalola's call to the bar held in Ado-Ekiti, the Ekiti state capital. According to Obasanjo, salary allocation for elected officials is the responsibility of the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission, which he said the lawmakers had jettisoned to fix salaries for themselves. He also complained that so many other aspects of the Nigerian constitution, such as the federal character, were absolutely ignored, saying that the Federal Character Commission barely carried out its function. The federal government is set to harmonize all revenue collecting agencies in Nigeria. The special advisor to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on revenue, Zak Adedeji, who disclosed these to newsmen on Monday, said the government will double the country's total annual revenue, which is currently below 15 trillion naira, by deepening the nation's revenue collection system and not by adding extra taxes. According to the president's revenue chief, Nigeria has a revenue problem, but the current administration is prepared to tackle the challenge through fiscal discipline and harmonization of revenue channels using technology to view all government revenue collecting agencies in real time. Adedeji clarified that the Tinubu administration is not going to collapse revenue-generating bodies like the Nigerian National Petroleum Company (NNPC) Limited, the Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS), the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency (NIMASA), and the Nigerian Customs Service (NCS). Rather, he said the current administration will use technology to integrate all revenue collecting agencies to monitor revenue in real time and remove any form of government within government. Adedeji also stressed that Tinubu has already approved the harmonization of all the revenue collecting agencies. The acting Comptroller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, Adewale Adeni, on Monday vowed a heavy clampdown on oil thieves, insisting that the nation cannot afford to let saboteurs take over our economy. Adeni, who said there were still cases of smuggling of premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, at Nigeria's border stations despite the removal of subsidy on the commodity, said the agency has adopted new border patrol strategies to close in on oil thieves. He made the disclosure on the sidelines of a sensitization workshop on the Nigerian Customs Service Act 2023 for management staff of the NCS in Abuja. Adeni spoke as the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited on Monday said it intercepted a suspected Cameroon-bound vessel with a cargo of crude oil on board. The Chief Corporate Communications Officer, NNPCL, Garba Muhammad, said in a statement that the cargo was intercepted on July 7, 2023 by a private security contractor engaged by NNPCL, Mrs. Tantita Security Services. Governor Rotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State has written to the State House of Assembly requesting for an extension of his medical leave. The Speaker of the Assembly, Right Honorable Olamide Oladiji, confirmed the receipt of the letter in Akwai, the state capital. Akeredolu said in the letter that the request was a sequel to doctors' advice on the need for him to take adequate rest after recuperating. Receiving the letter on behalf of all the lawmakers, the Speaker said the Governor's action was in line with Section 190 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended. Oladiji, who expressed appreciation to God for the speedy recovery of the Governor, expressed optimism that he will soon resume his duty. Akeredolu in the letter said that his deputy, Honorable Lucky Ayedatiwa, will continue to act as Governor until there is a written declaration to the contrary. The Commander Operation Safe Haven and General Officer Commanding 3 Division Nigerian Army Major General Abdul Salami Abubakar has restored normalcy to Sabangari of Mangu local government area of Plateau State following the recent attack in the area. Media Information Officer Operation Safe Haven Captain Oya James, in a statement, said General Abdul Salami, who assumed command on 8 July 2023, visited the affected area yesterday to have an on-the-ground assessment of the situation and proffer immediate solution to the lingering crisis. Oya said in his remarks during the visit, the commander stated that peace must be restored on the plateau by every legitimate means possible and led an operation resulting in the recovery of 5 fabricated AK-47 rifles, 19 rounds of 7.62 mm special and 4 rounds of 7.62 mm NATO and the 2 communities involved. He added that Major General Abubakar also led the enforcement of the 24-hour curfew imposed on Mangu local government area by the Executive Governor of Plateau State, Barrister Caleb Mutfang, in order to allow security forces restore law and order in the affected communities, arrested 36 curfew defaulters, and after firm warning, allowed them to go. Barely 24 hours after a middle-aged man identified as Ihis Dada was killed on his way home from church, which is suspected to be cult-related, 3 persons were yesterday afternoon allegedly shot dead at different locations in the state capital by alleged cultists. It was gathered that the renewed cult killings in Benin are between members of the Black Axe Confraternity and their Mahfite counterparts. Contacted, the police public relations officer PPRO Chidi Nwabuzo said the command was aware of the killings but cannot say if it is cult-related. He added that police tactical team had swung into action, investigation is on, and they will be able to get a clearer picture by today. And on the foreign scene, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has condemned the airstrike in the Sudanese city of Durman. According to reports, the airstrike, which happened on Saturday, killed at least 22 people. Guterres, in a statement by his deputy spokesperson Farhan Haq, offered condolences to the families of the victims and expressed hopes for a speedy recovery to the dozens who were injured. The Sudanese Army and Rava military group, the Rapid Support Forces (RSF), have been battling since mid-April. Hundreds of people have been killed and nearly 3 million have been displaced, including 2 neighboring countries. Haq said Guterres reiterated his call for the Sudanese army forces and the RSF to cease fighting and commit to a durable cessation of hostilities. And in sports, Nigeria defeated Ghana to lift the women's trophy at the ongoing 2023 African Under-21 Nations Volleyball Championship Zone 3 in Niamey, Niger Republic on Sunday. Team Nigeria went through the entire tournament without dropping a single set to be crowned champions, while beating Ghana twice in the mix. The girls seized past local rivals Ghana in their first match of the tournament with a 3-0 win. They continued their winning run in their second match against host Niger, winning 3-0. Coach Rekia Mohammed's team swept aside Benin Republic with the dominant display in the third match, claiming a 3-0 win to secure a rematch against Ghana in the final. The final was one-sided like the previous meeting between both sides, as Team Nigeria prevailed with a 3-0 win to secure the title in Niger. And with the sport news, we've come to the end of our bulletin for today. You can follow us on our social media handles at Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at TUNTBE Radio FM TV, respectively. You can also watch us live on the satellite decoder and icon search, which has been watched in about 38 countries of the world free. You can also follow and stream us live on our YouTube channel at Unity FM TV. I am Rukayat Sani Ibrahim. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of our programs. Do have yourself a lovely day.
I was the head boy in my primary school, senior prefect and best graduating student in my secondary school, but drug abuse almost ruined my life.
I was on an average of 2 grams of cocaine per day.
I was taking 8 ampoules of pentazosine daily.
European shisha, cocaine.
I became a user, a dealer and a gangster.
I saw other users drowning. I knew I didn't want to be like them, but I was already trapped.
My family disowned me.
My employment was terminated.
I sold my car, sold my house. I'll go out well-dressed and return shoeless, shirtless in exchange for drugs.
I was seeing things that were not real, and I once stabbed myself because I felt something crawling under my skin.
I contacted NDLEA and started therapy.
I spent 3 months in therapy.
I spent 8 months.
It's easy to relapse, but your mind has to be stronger than the cravings.
Drugs does not love you. You are not the one using drugs. Drugs are the one using you. Say no to drug abuse.